Hello everybody, so I made a tutorial on player IDs, how they work and stuff, but the video is a bit outdated because there's been a few updates. It didn't work very well, and there's like new placeholders, so I just wanted to update the tutorial because more people are asking about it, and I don't want to give them like an old tutorial that doesn't really work well. So yeah, this is a new tutorial. It's a bit more efficient, and yeah, so we're just gonna get right into it. And yeah, so before we start, I just want to mention that it's summertime for me, so that'll be a lot more streams, a lot more videos. If you're a housing creator and you want to have access, if you're a housing creator and you want to get notified when I stream or upload, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe and have like the notifications turned on. But yeah, join the Discord for support. Check out the website for resources and tools to help you with your housing, and we're just gonna continue with the tutorial. Okay, so I did just take off my texture pack so it's easier to see. Basically, we go to house settings, go to functions, and here we're going to create two new functions. So the first function we're going to call welcome new player. And inside, or no, sorry, we're going to also make another function, welcome back player. And you can call these whatever you want, but I'm just doing this to follow the tutorial. And inside here, we can add whatever we want to happen when a new, like this specific player joins. So if a new player, aka a player is joining for the first time, we can have these actions run. If they have joined the house before and we just want to welcome them back, we can have these actions run. So basically, okay, so now we have these functions. We're going to edit them later, but we're going to want to go back to the main menu, and then we could go to house settings, go to event actions, go to player join. Inside here, we're going to add an action, a conditional. Inside this conditional, we're going to test if player ID is equal to 0. Now, when a player first joins a house, every stat is set to 0. So kills are set to 0, deaths are set to 0. So what we're testing is basically, does this player have a player ID set up? And if they don't, which we're checking, excuse me, then we're going to go to if actions, and what's going to happen here is if they don't have one. So we're going to increase a global stat. We're going to call this player IDs. We're going to increase this by 1. So this we can keep track of every new player that's joined. Then we're going to add another action, a change player stat. We're going to call this player ID without the S. S we're using for global. Without the S we're using for just player stats. And we're going to set this equal to stat.global/player IDs. So what's happening here is we increase our global player IDs by 1, and then we set the individual player ID to that global one. Okay, and now for broadcasting the message, we're going to want to go to our trigger function and trigger our welcome new player, as well as turning on trigger for all players. Now, it's very important that we also add another global stat, and we're going to call this broadcast ID, and then we're going to want to set this to the stat.player/player ID. So this is the player's ID. And we're going to want to set this to before the function. Basically what this will do, we'll set broadcast ID to the player's ID. So now when we trigger the function, which I'll show you later, we can use this specified ID in that. Okay, so now in the else actions, which means the player is joining back again, we're going to want to just set broadcast ID. And again, I'm sorry, this is in a global stat changer, and set that to stat.player/player ID. Okay, and then we're just going to trigger the function welcome back player for all players. Okay, so now we have that set up. Now we can go to our functions, and in the welcome new player, we can add an action, and we're just going to have it send a chat message. And again, this is triggering for all players, so every player will get this chat message. We're going to make this a bit more fancy. We'll include maybe some squiggly characters in the beginning. And then we're going to just specify they have joined for the first time and will be known as player number, and we don't have to do that. But we can then include our global stat, so stat.global/broadcast ID. So this will put the number of the player who joined. We have it set to a broadcast ID. Basically what's happening here is when the player joins, we set their ID to a global stat, which we can trigger in this, or we can show in this message. Put an exclamation point just to show how excited we are that they joined, and then we'll end off the message with another squiggly. And then I just want to make sure, I'm not sure if that will mess it up or not, but I'm just going to do that anyway. So yeah, now it will show they have joined for the first time. It'll be known as, and then it will change the placeholder in the actual thing. And then in the welcome back player, and just so we can tell the difference, we'll do a different color, and we'll make it less fancy. They are known as player number stat.global/player ID. Or no, sorry, we didn't call it player ID, we called it broadcast ID. And yeah, they're just known as whatever. Okay, so now we should be able to leave our house and go back to my houses, just my own house. You should definitely do what the name says, but anyways, we're just going to join back. And as you can see, they have joined for the first time and would be known as player 1. So players who join your house, or are in your house, they'll see Alex Warrior has joined, and then they'll see they have joined for the first time and known as player 1. And then if we get another person to join, they'll be player 2. But now to show that when like welcoming the player back, we can go back into our house. As you can see, they have joined. Okay, so we did run into an issue where it said they have joined for the first time and will be known as player 2. Now this is a simple fix. What we're going to want to do is go to our house settings, go to player data, and we're going to make sure player stat durations. We're going to go here. As you can see, it says current duration is default. Now if you have Housing Plus, you can set this to 365 D for days. But if you don't have Housing Plus, which is something you buy on the store, just set it to 14 days, as that's the max you can do. So now, if we leave our house and join on back, you will see they are known as player 2. Now, I did mess up in the beginning. We can, if we really want, we can edit player stat Alex Warrior, player ID set 1, and now we can rejoin back into our house, and there we go. We are known as player 1. So yep, I hope this helped you. If it did help you, I really appreciate you liking the video, as this really does support the channel. If you need extra support, I'll be more than happy to help you in the Discord or someone else. Just open up a forum post in the Discord or just ask in like a housing channel. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.